Well, somebody managed to leak a bad copy of the Spider-Man 3 trailer earlier today, an iPhone recording, and put it out on the internet, which was quickly disappeared. But now, just as of 10 minutes ago, as I've started this recording, it looks like Marvel Studios and Sony have gone ahead and pulled the trigger on this now that it's made it around the interwebs. And here we go. Stay tuned. Online. All right, so I have been out. I've been so busy the last few days, and I know before I get into this Spider-Man thing, I know a lot of you folks have been waiting for me to discuss some of the more recent Star Wars Kathleen Kennedy Lucasfilm rumors that have come out, courtesy of my good buddies over at Midnight's Edge and their friend Mikey Sutton. I am going to be offering a few thoughts on that. I just have not had the time to get around to it. I wanted to give it a few days out there to mature a little bit, see if there was any further development before I made some remarks. I was supposed to be on Doomcock's Pop Culture Breakdown Sunday night, but just unfortunately with timing, I could not make it, guys. I was just terribly busy. So I want to get into this now, and we'll get into the Kathleen Kennedy thing in the next couple of days. I promise you I'm working on something right now. I do want to have that conversation because I think it's worth having. But before I get into this, thank you all for being here. Of course, we're at about 1,400 subs, and we have a little less than 1,000 watch hours left to go to hit the monetization mark with YouTube, which is amazing. This channel has been, breaking all the norms of YouTube in terms of channel growth, and that is because of you, and I thank you guys and girls for being here so much. So let's get into this. Make sure you hit that like button, the subscribe button, share it out on Twitter and Facebook, and of course, leave a comment at the end. I want to hear your thoughts on this as well. So, Spider-Man is one of those movies that I've always enjoyed, even the ones in the MCU, and I know there's some kerfuffle over that. There's a lot of people that still like the Andrew Garfield or the Tobey Maguire ones, which I enjoyed as well. But I was happy that Spider-Man finally was given the opportunity to fit back into the larger Marvel Cinematic Universe. So probably out of all the new Marvel properties, Marvel characters, let's say this, because Spider-Man is still indeed a Sony property, and it will be in perpetuity as long as Sony doesn't sell it back to Marvel. They're under no obligation to do that. So it will continue to be a Sony property, but this was the Phase 4 movie that I was looking for. And the trailer really didn't disappoint. Let's take a look.
Oh, look at this. This is a good one. Some suggest that Parker's powers include the male spider's ability to hypnotize females.
Stop, come on.
Yes, my spider lord.
Can we just stay up here all day? It is so crazy down there.
That's right, folks. Spider-Man is, in fact, Peter Parker.
Listen, I did not kill Mysterio. The drones did.
The drones that are yours.
Does any part of you feel relieved about all this?
What do you mean?
Now that everybody knows you don't really have to hide or lie to people.
For the record, I never wanted to lie to you. But how do you tell someone that you're Spider-Man? Now everybody knows. But this isn't about me. This is hurting a lot of people. I've just been thinking about how to fix all of this.
So, Peter, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I'm sorry to bother you, sir.
Please, we saved half the universe together. I think we're beyond you calling me sir.
Okay, Steven.
That feels weird, but I'll allow it.
When Mysterio revealed my identity, my entire life got screwed up. I was wondering if maybe you could make it so that he never did.
Strange.
Don't cast that spell. It's too dangerous. Fine. I won't. The entire world is about to forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Wait, everyone? Can't some people still know?
That's not how the spell works.
So MJ's gonna forget about everything we've ever been through?
Stop tampering with the spell.
Oh my God, Ned, he's my best friend. Oh, my Aunt May should really know.
Stop talking!
What just happened?
We tampered with the stability of space-time. The multiverse is a concept about which we know frighteningly little. The problem is you trying to live two different lives. The longer you do it, the more dangerous it becomes. Be careful what you wish for, Parker.
Hello, Peter.
So in there, we have got, we've got Tom Holland back as Spider-Man. Of course, it picks up where the last one left off. He's been outed in public, and we can see that he's going to trial. And there was some discussion that Charlie Cox, that would take over as his attorney from Daredevil. We'd get that Matt Murdock character. And, and it looks like that all may happen. But of course, one of the big rumors was how much of the involvement in this movie from other Marvel characters that would be. We can see very clearly that Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange, frankly, one of my most favorite Marvel characters in the MCU in the last 10 years. I really loved Doctor Strange, the movie. I thought it was one of the best character origin stories that Marvel has done. It's very entertaining, very smart, and like I said, I enjoyed every bit of it. But kind of that mysticism aspect of it is just something I can jive with as an old school, RPG and fantasy game kind of aficionado. Let's put it that way. But we can see that he's heavily involved in this. The whole multiverse, this is really the movie that's going to break the multiverse open. And I think I think this movie is going to be a lot of fun. And from the business and marketing side, and this is what I wanted to get to because that's what we discuss here on this channel, this to me seems like the kind of movie that should have launched Phase 4 of the MCU. To date, we have gotten a lot of kind of ho-hum, what is this? Heavily politically injected properties, beginning with WandaVision, which was more on the ho-hum side. Of course, we all found out after the fact, Kevin Feige publicly admitted that yes, initially Doctor Strange was supposed to be there in the end, but they didn't want him in that at the end of WandaVision. They cut that scene out because they didn't want it to end, and this was Feige's description, not verbatim, paraphrasing, but it's very close. They did not want the quote-unquote white guy to come in and explain everything and save the day at the end. Right, because that would have offended all the MCU fans or something, because apparently, unfortunately, these days, and we've discussed this before, Kevin Feige seems to think everything is through the lens of ethnicity and skin color. And you know what, Kevin, Marvel, Hollywood, most of us have been long past that. Most of us don't care. And we wish that we would stop being treated as babies in that regard and just give us good properties. Doctor Strange should have been in there with WandaVision. It would have made perfect sense, and it would have been a fantastic ending to that show. Then we got Falcon and the Winter Soldier, again, which was just packed full of politics, which was so disappointing because Sam Wilson and Falcon, another like Doctor Strange, one of my favorite MCU characters. And I just didn't like the direction of that show, and apparently a lot of other MCU fans and audiences didn't either. And then Loki was a bit of a bore, to be quite honest, very strung out, a lot of sitting and talking, walking and talking, riding in a car or a plane or something and talking and talking and talking, and it just really felt like Phase 4 is going nowhere. Black Widow really wasn't supposed to be in Phase 4. Now we have Shang Chi coming out, and this is where this is going. I feel it's kind of funny. Here we are. We've got Shang-Chi, where everything so far has been very focused in on the ethnicity of the cast, as if anybody cares. Just give us a good movie. If you want to make a Kung Fu Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, great. Why are we spending so much time? I read a Variety article today, and I'll see if I can put that up real quick so you know what I'm talking about. This Variety article today, again, almost every paragraph, it's going right back into talking about how wonderful it is that they have an Asian cast, like we've never had that before. Maybe not in an MCU movie, but I don't know how this is quote unquote groundbreaking or anything like this. But on the heels of this, we've talked about how the box office tracking for Shang-Chi so far has been relatively poor. And this is a movie that is going to be theatrically exclusive, right? So a theatrically exclusive movie with no backstop on Disney Plus, like we had Black Widow, which Disney, by the way, came out today, and in their court documents with ScarJo talked about how they had about $120 million in gross revenues from Disney Plus for Black Widow. That's going to be an interesting one. Stay tuned. We'll talk about that more later as more details come out. But then we got an Eternals trailer released right on the heels of the Shang-Chi premiere, which is very odd to me that the Eternals trailer would be pumped out. I can see the Eternals trailer being pumped out with the day release of Shang-Chi. Like, you'd go to the theater, you'd see Shang-Chi, and undoubtedly Marvel and Sony would be fools not to put the Eternals and Spider-Man trailer in with that movie. But here we are about a week or so, or 10 days or so, 2 weeks or so before Shang-Chi drops, and the Eternals trailer came out, before, kind of sucks some of the life out of it. It seems a little unusual to me. It seems like Feige and Marvel have kind of consigned themselves to the reality that Shang-Chi is just not going to perform that well, and they need to start the hype now for the next pieces of the MCU. Now, Spider-Man. This trailer was not supposed to come out today at all. But obviously, if you'd seen it going around the last couple of days, it's been circulating on Twitter and Reddit and all kind of other places where somebody had a really lousy iPhone copy of this. Well, apparently Marvel and Sony decided, let's go ahead and cut a trailer with the footage that is finished, because it's been said, I saw the Clownfish TV video on this, and if you're not sub to Clownfish, make sure you go check out those guys. Neon and Geeky Sparkles are outstanding YouTubers. So they had it, and they had some pieces, and they kind of noticed when I did that some of the scenes that you could see looked rather unfinished. So this is obviously a much more finished trailer. I didn't want to play the entire thing together. I didn't want to get a copyright strike. Again, I'm going to turn the sound down on it as well, for the most part. But there you go. That's where we are. And I find this curious is that, this was an unintentional push for this trailer by Marvel and Sony. I don't think they wanted to put it out just yet. But at the same time, they had already gone ahead and pulled the trigger on the Eternals. This Spider-Man trailer is whatever oxygen was left in the room for Shang-Chi. This official drop of the Spider-Man trailer probably just sucked a lot of that air out. Because I don't see, they really, as I said in a previous video, I feel like Marvel just did a very poor job of marketing Shang-Chi correctly. That character, somebody who's supposed to launch Phase 4, was never previously set up in the earlier phases of Marvel. If this is the character, if this is the movie that you want to launch this whole new world, because Endgame killed the first 3 phases. That's done. Those characters, by and large, are gone and over with. We're moving into a new phase. You really didn't set it up very well, Mr. Feige. I'm sorry. Didn't happen. And it looks like the Sony movie, Spider-Man No Way Home, is going to be the one that is going to maybe get Phase 4 going. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Appreciate you being here. Stick around. Like I said, we've got some more good stuff coming up later this week. We'll be having that conversation on Kathleen Kennedy. Will or will she not be renewed? We're going to discuss the rumors. We're going to look at everything from the business side, the marketing side, and we're going to discuss the rumors about, Kathleen might be renewed. Well, not so fast on that one, folks. We'll see. But stay tuned. Appreciate you being here. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And again, leave a comment below. Want to hear what you guys have to think or what you guys think about all this. And until next time, appreciate you being here. Take care.